Alright, well, I'm sure a lot of you out there have probably been waiting the entire review to find out about this, but here we are. What do I think about the series? I think that Tite Kubo had a very good idea, and I think he's doing a really good job with it so far, and I do enjoy the series a lot. It's definitely flash over substance. It's mostly just sort of an engine, I think, for just having a lot of big magical sword fights here and there, but needless to say, that's not a bad thing. I mean, when you really get down to brass tacks, Dragon Ball was mostly just an engine for getting people to fight each other with martial arts and energy blasts and stuff. So that's not a bad thing. That's not a thing to hit against it. In fact, that's a definition of the genre itself, and that's a very important thing that I look for when I read manga, is that manga tends to have very specific genres and very specific fandoms related to those genres, and there are things that are expected of the genre. And so people that have complaints about certain manga series, their complaints are more that they don't like the genre than it is they don't like that series. I'm not saying there aren't bad inclusions in the genre, but I think that sometimes that's a blurred line there that some people can't see as well as others. I call it the case of hating a fish for being a fish, as is the case with Bleach. Some people don't like it because of certain features in the storytelling that are actually just a part of the genre itself. Case in point, Bleach is actually a big product of a fan appreciation for another series called Knights of the Zodiac, or in Japan it's called Saint Seiya, in which a lot of the story elements that are in that series are prevalent in this series, and it's mostly due to the fact that Kubo himself really loved Knights of the Zodiac, as I'm sure a lot of manga writers loved that series growing up. And you can see it a lot if you've read Knights of the Zodiac, and vice versa. You have Ichigo, who initially in the series he didn't want to take on the responsibility of being a protector, in much the same way the main character of the other series didn't. And then by about the third or fourth volume, he's all gung-ho about his destiny. And then, in fact, the next story arc was actually a rescue arc, where they had to go and rescue one of their friends from a group of superpowered beings who hold a form of authority in their realm. Much the same way as you have the captains in Soul Society. In Knights of the Zodiac, they were the Gold Knights, and they were protectors of this celestial sanctuary, and they had to break in and save them. It was very similar plot following with that. So I really enjoy both of them very much like that. Now, of course, with every yin there is a yang, with every good there is a bad, and I'm not going to say that I'm a fanboy of the series. I'm not going to say that this series is not without faults, as most things in life are not. And I have specifically left that portion of my review for the next part, mostly because there are some very unavoidable spoilers that are going to be included in that video. Spoilers that I think would impair your enjoyment of the series, especially if you want to find out about these specific plot points yourself and come to your own conclusions about your feelings towards them. But I, of course, have read the series a couple times now, and these are things that I want to address so that you see that I'm not just praising it, and you know, I'm observant of the other half of the reviewing. So I hope to see you in the next portion where I will be talking about the specific problems I have with Bleach. Now, of course, I'm going to be talking about my problems with Bleach, and my problems aren't necessarily your problems, but as long as I can convey to you what my problems with it are, and you can understand where I'm coming from, I think that's as good of a job as I can do. So, I hope to see you next time, and if I don't, then I hope to see you in the next review. Alright, enjoy.
What is it?